Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's Kevin Forte, and today we're going to take a look at the New Jersey Devils, as we now know what the plan seems to be moving forward for the Devils, as they have re-signed Jesper Bratt. We've also got some updates on Timo Meier and maybe even a Nico Hischier discussion. We're going to talk about all of that today as we take a look at the New Jersey Devils. If you guys have not already, make sure to like this video, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we are heading into the off season. But you guys know I don't like to use that term because there is no off season. There is so much to talk about, even though there is no actual hockey on the ice, so make sure you're stay tuned. All right, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at the first bit of news that really kind of got the ball rolling for the New Jersey Devils, as Tom Fitzgerald and Jesper Bratt and his camp have signed an 8-year contract worth $7.875 million per season. Jesper Bratt, the 24-year-old forward, had 32 goals and 73 points through 82 games last season with the New Jersey Devils. And that total actually comes out to, I don't think ironically, his number, which is $63 million over the next 8 years for Jesper Bratt. Now you look at the actual breakdown of the deal, and this is from Puckpedia. So the first year, his cap hit comes in at $5 million with a $5 million signing bonus. The next season, which would be year 2, would be $4 million on the AAV, $5 million signing bonus. And for the rest of this deal, besides the first year, is a full no movement clause. So years 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this deal, full no movement clause. In year 3, it's the same $4 million, $5 million signing bonus. Year 4 of the deal, $6 million cap hit, $2 million signing bonus. And then the final year, between years 5 and 6, you got a $2.2 million and then a $5 million signing bonus, and then $2.1 million with a $4.5 million signing bonus, and then a $6 million cap hit, no movement clause, but a 15-team no trade list. Sorry guys, it's early. But basically the breakdown of the deal comes out to $7.875 million per season over the duration of the deal, which I said earlier comes out to $63 million over the next 8 years. So this number is not really surprising. Now, Tom Fitzgerald, the general manager and the chairman of the New Jersey Devils, kind of said that, they don't really account for other players' salary on the roster, which I think is kind of a load of BS because, Jack Hughes' deal comes in at 8 over 8, which is $8 million per season for 8 years. So they've got him locked up. Now they've got Jesper Bratt locked up, just a little bit less than the number we saw for Jack Hughes. But there is still other guys on the Devils roster that need to get signed here over the next couple of years. Now, the first one obviously being the most kind of pressing issue for the Devils, which is former San Jose Shark Timo Meier. Now, the latest report is he is filed, I believe they're going to arbitration. So the Devils are filing for club elected salary arbitration with RFA Timo Meier, and that's according to Elliot Friedman. This opens up the potential for a 1-year award at up to 15% less than his $10 million qualifying offer if both sides cannot reach a long-term agreement, which is still being worked on before the hearing in July or early August. And obviously the date for that hearing has not been confirmed at this point. So basically what we're looking at here is they've signed Jesper Bratt, they've got Jack Hughes, but now next on the radar is obviously Timo Meier. Now, Timo Meier is kind of a weird situation because obviously we know he did really well with the San Jose Sharks in his contract season last year, but once he got to the Devils, he had a couple of big goals here and there, absolutely. But for the most part, his numbers really weren't that good in New Jersey, which is kind of weird. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. Because you look at his numbers in San Jose, he had 52 points in 57 games. With the Devils, he only had 14 points in 21 games. And mind you, the San Jose Sharks were a lot worse of a team than the Devils team that he ended up, kind of going with into the playoffs at the end of the season. So it's kind of a weird situation there. He only picked up 4 points in 11 games in the playoffs, so I don't really know what they're going to do with this. I think Timo Meier might be looking to see kind of who's coming in and some of the changes they're going to make, because let's be honest, he didn't really do that well at the end of the year with the Devils. He still put up good numbers, definitely not disregarding that, but at the end of the day, you kind of look at it, and he definitely, the expectations were higher for Timo Meier, especially in the playoffs when he only comes up with a pair of goals and a pair of assists through those 2 rounds they played against the Rangers and the Hurricanes. So that's something to consider there. Now, the other issue that we're looking at here with the Devils, so we've already talked about Jesper Bratt. He signed his deal. We already talked about potentially Timo Meier with this arbitration. We also have Nico Hischier. He's locked up. So that is not an issue. He's locked up till 2027, so they don't have to worry about that. Now, really, the next group of guys that you're going to start to look at is some of their UFAs and RFAs this summer after Timo Meier. Some of those guys, including Nathan Bastian, Jesper Bookfist, Michael McLeod, Yegor Sharangovich, Eric Haula, Thomas Tatar, Miles Wood. And then on the back end, you have Kevin Ball and Ryan Graves, as well as Mackenzie Blackwood in between the pipes. We know what's going to happen there. Of the guys that I just mentioned, I don't think Ryan Graves will be coming back. I think the Devils are trying to make it a point to make room for Luke Hughes this season, Kevin Ball. This is a Devils team that is kind of in a transition, especially on the blue line, because we're going to see Luke Hughes for a full season this year. Simon Nemec is expected to be in the lineup on opening night. If not, he'll be starting the season in Utica. It's not determined yet, but I think it's safe to say Nemec, if he's coming over to the States, is likely going to be playing in Newark next season. So now you've got Kevin Ball in there as well. I think they're going to sign him. He played really well in the playoffs. Probably one of their better players in the playoffs, which is kind of funny. Obviously not for the scoring side of things, but for his physical play in the playoffs, he definitely had his chance to shine. I think he's going to stick around with the Devils. So that kind of makes Ryan Graves expendable. In between the pipes, we saw Akira Schmid. Really good goalie, and they're hoping for more from him. They've got Vitek Vanacek locked up for another 2 seasons, which kind of leaves Mackenzie Blackwood. We know that he's dealt with a lot of injury issues. It's not too surprising to say that he probably will not be coming back, and they're probably going to waive that RFA tag and just let him hit unrestricted free agency. We've seen plenty of teams do that before. The Buffalo Sabres did that a couple years ago with Robin Lehner when he ended up signing with the Islanders, so we might see something similar to that with Mackenzie Blackwood. In terms of their forwards, Miles Wood, I think, has played his last game with the Devils. Again, kind of the same thing. You've got Dawson Mercer, Alexander Holtz. Depending on what they do with guys like Yegor Sharangovich and Timo Meier, there's just not enough room on this roster for the Devils. I think Miles Wood's going to end up leaving this team. Same thing for Tomas Tatar. I think that's a guy that's probably on his way out. Of those UFAs in that class, Eric Haula might stick around. Depends on if he really liked it in New Jersey, or is he going to be looking for the bag. If he's looking for the bag, he's probably going to be packing his bags out of Newark Airport. And that's kind of what we're looking at there. We've heard some rumblings about Yegor Sharangovich potentially getting traded. He is an RFA with arbitration rights, so keep an eye out for his name here over the next couple of weeks. If a team's looking to add a young 25-year-old guy, he's put some pretty good numbers up in the NHL. He obviously struggled this past season with the Devils, but in his rookie season, he played really well. So this is a guy that does have some value if he does go out to the marketplace, and maybe a team's able to get him at a discount compared to what he would have been worth last year. So that's something to watch for. But like I said, for the Devils, kind of the focus right now, and I kind of said that they have a Hischier contract coming up. That's not the case. I thought I heard that from the Jeff Merrick show, but you could botch that. He's there for a while. So the Devils are starting to build up their group, and you look at the numbers for these guys, right? Jack Hughes at $8 million, Jesper Bratt at $7.875, Nico Hischier at $7.25. Andre Palat at $6. Nobody is making over $8 million right now, which is the benefit for the Devils. Now, obviously, everyone's going to say, Dougie Hamilton's making $9. I understand that. That is your biggest contract on the roster. Nobody's making that $10 million price tag, which everybody says, you can't win a cup making $10 million on a player. Well, now Jack Eichel has broken that curse. So I think the Devils are doing a really good job. They have these guys locked up long term. It seems like these guys want to be a part of the Devils. And, I think there is some question about Jesper Bratt in terms of that number. That number does seem a little bit high. I have to be honest with you. I think that number's high, but the Devils are taking a chance on him. They know that he's worth something to their franchise. He is a necessary guy to this group. And depending on what happens with Timo Meier, That's something that is still up in the air. It's not a guarantee that Timo Meier is with New Jersey for the next 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years. So they have to have some security there. I definitely understand why they made this move. I think it's a good pickup for the Devils, and to be honest, for Jesper Bratt, I think it's a good contract for him as well. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of the New Jersey Devils and the latest on the New Jersey Devils here, as we've gotten some updates on Timo Meier going to arbitration, club elected by the New Jersey Devils, Jesper Bratt signing a long-term extension, and some of your guys' thoughts on some of their pending contracts going into the summer. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.